Hello and welcome to Bookalina. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I would love it if you would subscribe and join me every week. I will be uploading new videos talking about books. I wanted to share with you some books that I've read in the last couple of months. This is not all of them. I will do a second part to this at some point. And one book that I DNF'd. So first up on the list is Kindred by Octavia Butler. I actually didn't know that this book was written, it was first published in 1979. I thought it was much more contemporary than that because it very much reads like it's something more contemporary. You follow the journey of a woman who gets pulled back in time. And she spends time in the years of slavery in the South. And I don't really want to give too much away. I would say it's somewhat of a science fiction-y kind of a story, but you can definitely enjoy it if you're not into science fiction. I myself am not really into science fiction, and I really enjoyed it. It's beautifully written, it's harrowing, it's emotional, it's sad. It is at times hard to read, but well worth it, and it is definitely worth all the hype that it has been getting. Next up is A House at the Bottom of the Lake by Josh Malerman. He wrote Bird Box, which I've never read, and I also have never seen the Netflix movie. I would like to read the book. If you've read it, let me know. I really enjoyed A House at the Bottom of the Lake. It's a short book. Let me find out. Let me see how many pages. So it's only like 150-ish pages, so it's pretty short. It's about a young teenage couple who go exploring on this lake near their home, and they venture deep into this big lake, and they find a house sitting at the bottom of it, and they go explore the house. And it's just a really interesting story. It's creepy and atmospheric and has kind of a supernatural element to it, and you know, it doesn't go too in depth just because of the length. It kind of prevents it from doing so, but I still felt completely immersed and in the moment as I was reading it. Next up is The Humans by Matt Haig. This is definitely one of my favorite books that I've read in a long time. I read The Midnight Library first by this author, and I really enjoyed it, but I enjoy The Humans even more. So it's about an alien who is sent to Earth to inhabit the body of this mathematician in England, and he has a mission that he is required to carry out. And because he's an alien, he doesn't know anything about Earth and human behavior and human culture and everything, and it's incredibly clever and funny, him trying to acclimate to this body, this foreign body on this foreign planet. It's written in such a way that even if you don't know anything about astronomy or physics or mathematics, you can still really enjoy it. It did make me cry, but in a good way. It was just really, really heartfelt. So beautifully written. I loved it. Next up is Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. It follows the story of a Chinese-American family in Ohio in the 70s, and their daughter goes missing, and after her body is found, the story deals with the aftermath of that and how each family member is dealing with the loss of this young woman. I liked it. I didn't love it. I did like the element of a Chinese man and an American woman getting married, having kids, and what they went through, how they were perceived in the 60s and 70s, being married to each other. But I did think that that was kind of the only original element in what is kind of a tired storyline At this point, I've read 100 books about a daughter, someone's daughter that goes missing or dies, and how the family deals with that. And I just thought the rest of the book was kind of cliche as far as certain things that happened with the husband and the wife and even the kids. I do think it was well written, but it didn't make me necessarily want to read anything else by that author. So the book that I DNF'd was John Dies at the End by David Wong. I was excited to read this book. It seemed really interesting and really original, which it definitely is. David Wong is a writer at cracked.com, which used to be one of my favorite websites. I don't go on there anymore, but I stopped reading after like 100 pages or so, maybe a little more. I was having trouble getting into it. I was having trouble following it. It just seemed like the characters were just kind of jumping from scene to scene and all this crazy stuff kept happening, but there didn't seem to be any real context for it. And I don't know, I was entertained but confused at the same time. And eventually that gets kind of boring. So I don't know. Have you guys read it? Should I pick it up again? I've heard mixed things about this book. It feels like it's pretty polarizing. People either really love it or they don't like it at all. So that's it for today. Stay tuned for part 2 of this because I've been reading a lot of books lately, so I will be adding more in the next video. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. I will see you very soon. Thanks again for watching. Take care.